Welcome to a world where boundaries are pushed and reality itself is questioned. A place where art, in its purest form, defies tradition. Today, we are diving into the fascinating universe of experimental theater.
But what is experimental theatre? Simply put, it's a form of theatre that challenges conventional norms. Unlike traditional plays, which often follow a set storyline and predictable structure, experimental theatre pushes the limits of what theatre can be. It explores new ways of storytelling, using unconventional methods, techniques, and visual to make us think, feel, and experience the performance in ways we've never imagined.
Now, to truly understand experimental theater, we need to take a journey back into time, its roots, to the artists who sparked this revolution in the world of performance. Took place in the art world. Movements like Dadaism, Futurism, and Expressionism emerged, challenging not only art, but also the very essence of theater. These movements rejected logic, embraced chaos, and sought to break away from the predictable structure of traditional performances. Art was no longer just to be admired, but to be questioned, explored, and refined.
These avant-garde artists believed that theater should not just entertain, but provoke thought, disrupt norms, and even stir deep emotions. This was the birth of experimental theater, a theater that was not confined by conventional boundaries, but one that exists to challenge audiences and the artists themselves.
One of the first pioneers of experimental theatre was Antonin Artaud, a French playwright and director. Antonin is best known for his concept of the theatre of cruelty, where he sought to shock the audience into awakening, often with disturbed and intense performance. Antonin believed that theatre should have an almost violent impact on the audience, forcing them to confront uncomfortable thoughts about life, society, and themselves.
He wanted to break the barrier between the audience and the actors, creating an experience that was both raw and emotionally charged. His theater was meant to shatter the passive nature of traditional performances, encouraging audiences to feel something deep and powerful. The theater of cruelty was intense, bold, and often disturbing, but it was designed to make people think in new, unconventional ways.
Another key figure in the world of experimental theater is Bertolt Brecht, a German playwright and director. Brecht introduced the idea of epic theater, where the audience was constantly reminded that they were watching a performance. He didn't want them to get lost in the illusion of the play. Instead, he wanted them to stay alert and critically engaged with the ideas presented.
Brecht theatre aimed to educate, thought techniques like breaking the fourth wall, where actors will speak directly to the audience. He encouraged the viewers to think critically about the issues being raised on stage. His plays were often about political and social problems, like class inequality, war, and oppression, and he used theatre as a tool for social change.
Another influential figure was Jerzy Grotowski, a Polish director who took a different approach to experimental theater. While Artaud and Brecht were focused on shocking and engaging the audience intellectually, Grotowski was focused on inner experience of both the actors and the audience. He believed that the theater could be reduced to its purest form. The actor and the audience is a shared, intimate space.
Grotowski's work often involved extreme physicality, with the actor using their body as a vessel to convey deep emotional truth. His performances were often held in small, intimate settings, far removed from large stages or extravagant sets. For Grotowski, theater was not about a spectacle, but about exploring the very core of human experience.
As we move into the 21st century, experimental theater continues to evolve and adapt to new technologies. Today, we see the rise of digital performance, where technology is used to enhance the live performance experience.
One of the most exciting developments in experimental theater is immersive theater, where the audience is no longer a passive observer but an active participant. In this performance, the audience is free to move through the performance space, interacting with the actors and sometimes even influencing the outcome of the story.
Immersive theater blurs the boundaries between performer and spectator, creating a unique personalized experience for each person who attends. It's a powerful way to make the audience feel fully immersed in the world of the play.
Another new frontier for experimental theater is the integration of new media. Live streaming has allowed performance to reach global audience, creating new opportunities for collaboration, interaction, and engagement. The traditional stage no longer confines theater. Performance can now be broadcast across the world in real time, opening up endless possibilities for digital storyline.
Today's experimental theater often combines multiple art forms dance, music, visual art, and more into a single cohesive performance. These hybrid productions are often multisensory, designed to engage all aspects of the audience's perfection. This fusion of art forms creates an experience that is not just a play, but a complete artistic journey.
Experimental theater invites us to rethink what theater can be and what it can do. It challenges us, shakes us out of our comfort zones, and forces us to engage with the world around us in new and meaningful ways. It reminds us that art at its core is about questioning, exploring, and evolving.
As we look to the future, experimental theater will continue to evolve. It will continue to blend technology, performance, and audience interactions in ways we can yet imagine. And it will continue to push boundaries not just within the art world, but within society itself.
From its origins in avant-garde movements to its current role in reshaping the boundaries of performance, experimental theater remains one of the most dynamic and thought-provoking forms of art. Its future unguarding. But its thing is for sure. It will continue to push the limits of what theater can be.
But experimental theater isn't just for actors and directors. It invites the audience to be part of the creative process. Each performance is unique, influenced by the people who experience it.
This kind of theater often extends beyond the stage, happening in unexpected locations, abandoned buildings, city streets, underground spaces. These all became part of the performance itself, transforming everyday environments into works of art.
Some performances even use audience members as characters. In these shows, the audience isn't just watching, they're making decisions, influencing the story, and shaping the final outcome of the play.
The interactivity makes every show different. No two performances are ever exactly the same. The unpredictability, the immersion, and the emotional intensity all make experimental theater an unforgettable experience.
One of the most famous immersive theater productions is Sleep No More, an adaptation of Macbeth that allows the audience to wander freely through a multi-story set, discovering the story in their own way.
Unlike traditional theater where the audience sits and watches, in immersive theater they move, explore, and even interact with actors. It's not just a show, it's an adventure.
Another fascinating approach is site-specific theater, where performances are created for a particular location. using its story, architecture, and atmospheres as an essential part of the experience.
For example, a site-specific play set in a historic castle might have incorporated its real story into storyline, blending fiction with reality in a way that traditional theater cannot.
This approach makes every performance deeply connected to its space, making the audience feel like they are stepping into another world where reality and theater merge.
But experimental theater isn't just about location, it's also about the way stories are told. Some productions abandon scripts entirely, using improvisation to create a performance that changes each night.
Others incorporate elements of performance art using movement, sound, and visuals, rather than a dialogue to communicate emotions and ideas.
There are even productions that use virtual reality, allowing audiences to step into fully immersive digital worlds, where they can experience the story as if they were living inside it.
And let's not forget interactive theater, where audiences use their phones or their devices to make choices that shape how the play unfolds.
In these performances, the line between spectator and performer is completely erased. The audience is no longer passive. They are a part of the story itself.
One of the most exciting aspects of experimental theater is how it challenges our expectations. We might enter thinking we know what theater is, but we leave realizing it can be so much more.
Experimental theater reminds us that storytelling is not limited to words on a page or actors on a stage. It can be an experience, a sensation, a moment of transformation.
It teaches us to look beyond what we think we know, to question, to feel, and to see the world with new eyes.
And that is the true power of experimental theater. It changes us, it challenges us to break free from routine and experience something unexpected.
Whether through technology, movement, sound, or audience participation, experimental theater continues to push boundaries, redefining what performance can be.
So next time you think of theater, don't just imagine a stage and audience. Imagine possibilities. Imagine transformation. Imagine a world where anything is possible.
As experimental theater continues to evolve, sound design has become a vital element in shaping the emotional landscape of a performance. Innovative soundscapes now guide us through unexpected emotional terrains.
Innovative soundscape and experimental music are used to create environments that transport the audience to surreal realms. Composers and sound designers collaborate closely with directors to challenge our auditory perceptions.
Lighting and visual design have also taken a transformative role. Modern productions incorporate dynamic light setups and projection mapping to turn ordinary spaces into immersive, living canvases.
These elements work in harmony to blur the line between reality and illusion. The stage may become a constantly shifting tableau, inviting us to question what is real and what is artifice.
Live visual art, such as real-time painting or digital creation, is increasingly interwoven into performance, reinforcing the notion that theater is an ever-evolving collaborative art form.
Actors no longer just storytellers, they become sculptors of the atmosphere. Through movement and improvisation, they mold space, creating visceral connection with the audience.
Collaboration lies at the heart of this evolution. Artists from diverse disciplines, dance, music, visual arts, and technology join forces, breaking down traditional barriers and forging new creative pathways.
Such interdisciplinary collaborations not only redefine the performance but also challenge societal norms and spark conversations about contemporary issues, from political unrest to social inequality.
These productions build community, foster dialogue among diverse audiences, and inviting them to reflect their roles and ever-changing society.
The digital age has ushered in hybrid performances that combine virtual and augmented reality. These technologies open up new dimensions of storytelling and audience interaction.
Digital interactivity allows the audience to influence the narrative in real time. This merging of viewer and creator dissolves traditional boundaries, making every performance a unique experience.
Experimental theater often challenges the very concept of time. Non-linear narrative and fragmented storytelling invite the audience to piece together meaning from a mosaic of moments.
This fragmented approach mirrors the complexity of modern life, where experiences are interwoven and emotions rarely follow a straight path, encouraging us to embrace ambiguity.
Global influences have enriched experimental theater. Artistic traditions from various cultures blend to create performances that are innovative while being deeply rooted in diverse histories and perspectives.
In these multicultural productions, elements of indigenous storytelling, ritual, and mythology intertwine with modern techniques, forging a dialogue between past and present.
Audience feedback is now more immediate and influential than ever. Social media and live polling during performances allow creators to adapt the narrative on the fly.
This responsive dynamic ensures that every show remains fresh and relevant, resonating with current cultural and social climates while inviting deeper audience engagement.
Experimental theater also encourages artistic risk-taking, freed from commercial constraints. Artists explore controversial themes that spark debate and reflection.
The boundary between performance and reality becomes a playground for experimentation. Spontaneity and unpredictability are celebrated as powerful tools for expression and transformation.
Ultimately, experimental theater stands as a testament to the limitless potential of human creativity. It challenges us to rethink our assumptions, embrace the unknown, and find beauty in the unexpected. Experimental theater has also influenced educational spaces. Artists and educators now use these methods to inspire students to break free from conventional learning.
Art schools and workshops incorporate these avant-garde techniques, teaching students to embrace uncertainty and creativity as tools for innovation.
In creative labs and masterclasses, young artists blend traditional forms with modern technology, ensuring that the evolution of theater never stops.
Beyond the classroom, experimental theater acts as a mirror to society, reflecting our deepest hopes, fears, and the complexity of our human condition.
Challenges stereotypes and invite us to rethink identity, belonging, and intricate interplay of cultural differences.
Artists use the stage to address themes like migration, diversity, and social change, turning performance into a platform for dialogue.
The beauty of experimental theater lies in its fluidity. It refuses to be confined by traditional narratives, opening spaces for endless interpretations.
Each performance becomes a transformative experience, reshaping perceptions and refining what it means to be part of a shared artistic journey.
Every show sparks a conversation, challenging both the performers and the audience to engage with art on a deeply personal level.
Risk in inherent experimental theater, artists boldly explore raw emotions and controversial themes, creation work that resonates long after the final curtain.
Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of experimental theater.